what's going to be? How's it hanging? How's it happening? You guys know this is Kevin from the Chord Progression Podcast. Hey, everybody, we are into 2023 already. Oh my God, 2023. And this episode, we get to talk to one of our friends who was back on the podcast in early February of 2022. We get to see everything she's done in 2022, some of the crazy stuff, and then look at 2023 and what might happen with her brand and everything. Oh, did I say brand? Yes, I said brand. Oh my God. Before we jump into this podcast, I want to thank our sponsor, which is Phoenix Fitness. So yes, we are at the beginning of the year. There are many of you out there. It's like, New Year's resolutions, get in tip-top shape, lose weight. Totally admirable. Totally get it. Want you to stick with it. For me, I call it getting in a mosh pit shape. So you guys know me. I love music. That's what the Chord Progression Podcast is all about. It's all about music. It's all about these bands that hit hard, hit fast, and especially me, want to go moshi too. And I love going those mosh pits. So for me to make sure I can go in those mosh pits the way I want to, hit hard, hit fast, and be in the entire time and not have to feel the need to step out because my stamina and my cardio is just that good. I go to the gym. I'm there like at least 2 hours every single day, Monday through Saturday. Sunday's my rest day, my executive workout day, Sunday. But into there, like I'm running, biking, hitting the gym, and lifting weights like a madman, which is great. But I need to make sure that I am preparing and recovering correctly so my body is able to continue to do that. And when it comes showtime, moshing is good. So that's where Phoenix Fitness comes in. They have many different products, many different supplements for you to help you prepare and recover right so your body is at the most optimal to achieve your fitness goals and get in a mosh pit shape with me. They have different types of protein, whey protein, collagen protein, plant-based protein. I use the whey protein stuff and it does me good. They also have different pre-workouts, both stim and stim-free. I use the stim-free stuff because, well, I'm crazy enough as it is. I don't need that extra kind of caffeine. They also have different beasts of the recovery compounds for directly after your workout, different multivitamins, creatines, anything you might need to achieve your fitness goals, Phoenix Fitness is going to have for you. And you can get started right now by going to fnxfitness.com, getting what you need, and using the code CPP20 at checkout to get 20% off your entire order. Remember, fnxfit.com, code is CPP20, link description of the podcast. Now in our feature presentation, we have my friend, your friend, our friend, Lexy Messina back on the podcast. On TikTok, when we first had her on, she was about 35,000 followers. Now she's almost double that. She has had some incredible moments happen in 2022, growing her brand on TikTok, focused around fashion and all things heavy music, whether it's hard rock, metal, metalcore, hardcore, deathcore, whatever it might, post-hardcore, whatever it might be. Ooh, yeah, it is there. We talk about the stuff she's done in 2022, including her working with Unified, her connection with We Came as Romans, the Breaking Benjamin experience, what she was able to do connected with Blue Ridge Rock Festival. And on top of that, we can take a look at just some of the crazy stuff we've been through, and looking ahead in 2023, Lexy makes, not a prediction, a manifestation for 2023. So you're going to want to follow along with all of that right now. But before we do that, let's have some fun. So please welcome our friend Lexy back to the podcast. Are you ready? Because I am. Let's go! Yeah! Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, listeners of the Chord Progression Podcast. Back in early 2022, I had friends on our Instagram live stream say, hey, go check out this person on TikTok. She's got a cool aesthetic, got a cool vibe, all about the music. Go check her out, you might like her, and bring her on the podcast. And I said, okay. And we did, back in February 2022. Now it's almost a year later, and it's like, you know what? She's had an absolutely crazy year, not only growing her brand, doing some of the most cool shit ever, but also growing as a social media manager for some bands, even one that I am well aware of and have had on the podcast multiple times before. So why don't we just talk about all the crazy stuff she's done in 2022 and going forward. So please welcome back to the podcast, Lexy Messina. So Lexy, welcome back.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for being back on. I mean, I had to go with the big intro. Like, I always go with the big intro, but I got to go bigger and grander, especially for people that I've known, I've hung out with for, and have seen multiple concerts with in the past year.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, was Bad Omens?
Yeah, that was the last one that was the most recent one, was that Bad Omens short before Thanksgiving.
Yep.
But then I know there's probably at least 7 or 8, maybe even 10 others that have come from last February till now. I'm not even sure. It's we probably were there, but you were who knew? You were probably doing something, and I'm probably in the middle of pit just going, whoa!
Yeah. Yeah, I think I counted, and I've gone to 20 shows this year.
Just 20?
Just 20? What?
I think by the end of the year, by the time the end of the year comes and that 7 does show at the end of the year hits, I think I have to count it somewhere around 45 or 46.
What? I mean, I need to know like what your list looks like then, because I am like, how did I do that?
You know what? You know what? After this, I'll compile the whole entire list and I'll send it to you because there's probably like just 10 or like it might even honestly be like 10 there. Or it's just like, oh yeah, that one. Oh yeah, that one. Oh yeah, that
Yeah. Wait, did you go to any festivals?
Yeah, but whenever it comes to a festival day, I'll only count like each day as one. So it's like for Welcome to
Oh,
Rockville, I'll count that like every one of those as it was 4 days, 4, Louder Than
right.
Life, 4, even though, you know, I don't know. I probably saw at least like 20 bands there. Nope, I'm just counting it as one
Right.
day.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't even count like any of Blue Ridge or anything, but that's still, I don't know, that still feels like a ton to me. I was
Yeah.
like, damn.
Yeah, so just add 4 onto that for you so that you
Yep.
can always add that. But outside of that, I mean, the last time we had you on was in early February 2022. Now we're heading into
Dang.
2023. So, like, I know a lot of crazy stuff has happened. So let's just start at the beginning. Like, February was around, and, you know, like, we were,
Yeah.
like, so live shows going nuts. Your brand was growing on TikTok. I know you're doing all the social media manager stuff, but, like, what all started there to get to where you are right now? Because it's, like, at least 2 times, maybe even 3 times as bigger now than it was back then.
Yeah. Um, wow. Even thinking back to like being back on here in February, like it feels way longer. It feels like forever ago. And I know, I feel like where I was at back then is just like who is she? I don't know. I don't even know where to start. Like I feel like I need a more definitive question.
Shoot, I'm trying to think of what could be a more definitive question. So, okay, let's go. Starting in February, when you were going forward, like what was one of the first shows that you went to in 2022 where it was just like one of those things where you just knew something was a little bit different about it when it came to what you've been building on TikTok, what you've been building as a social media manager for a couple of different bands. Where all of a sudden it's like, okay, something feels different. Like something feels like it's even bigger than what I ever expected it to be.
Yeah, that's such a good question. And I don't even know if I got to that point until like basically Blue Ridge, like August, September moment. Like I feel like these spring months for me were so like there were so many concerts just like packed into that like I don't even know if I saw like bigger picture at that point. Like I was just going to all the shows. Like that's definitely where like I went to the majority of the ones that I went to this year. So I don't even know that like I felt like things exploded for me up until like after summer because summer was really dead. Like I didn't even go to any other festival besides Blue Ridge, which is going to change in 2023. I'm very excited for that. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like the beginning of the year was very like I don't know. It was a blur. Like I feel like it was a blur.
No, I know how it goes too, because even like I think about like my beginning of the year was just like, okay, everything was just going nuts. It was like every couple of days, here I am
Yeah.
going to a random live show and just seeing what happens. And like the amount of times I'd run into like, if I went down like Chicago or something, attempt to run into like Jake and Jarek and Erica, and they're like, oh, I'm pretty
Yep.
sure Lexi's at this show. And I'm like, okay, just got to find the hair. If I can find
Yep.
it, we'll see what happens.
Yep. Yeah. No, same for me. And I don't know, it's definitely gotten me to a place of like I'm ready to move, like I'm ready to be out of the Midwest and just like well even for me like the shortest drive I have to like the majority of shows is like an hour and a half. And I'm kind of just like sick of that. Like I want to be closer to like music destinations, I guess if you want to say that. So moving has been like heavily on my mind. So that's on my radar for this next year. But yeah.
I do remember we did talk about you thinking about moving the first time you were on here, and you definitely were talking about getting out of the Midwest to get away
Yep.
from the winter, which we are literally in the middle of right now. Which we had opened up with our first conversation was we have not seen the sun in like 3 weeks. What
Yep.
the actual hell?
Yeah, it could be way worse. Like I feel like I can't even complain yet, but yeah, I can't do it. I'm a warm weather person. I need the sun.
I think all of us do, but then all of us, especially, here in Wisconsin, we just kind of grin and bear it. And then just once February
Yeah,
comes, we're just like, oh dear God, just enough.
right. Like, what else are you gonna do? But yeah, I'm trying to move. That's what I'm gonna do.
I'll say, because I know you said you like sun and you want to get warmer weather. Like, are any particular places you're looking at currently? Just an idea or area around, like, where are you thinking of just in terms of your whole entire plan?
So that's like kind of part of the whole plan is like figuring that out. I have not even come to like that was like my major goal that I have for like one of them for this year, this coming year is to like do like more traveling, and that kind of partners into like going to the more festivals and just like using different experiences to facilitate me like seeing different parts of the US, particularly the South, because obviously I want warm, so South. Um, but yeah, that's to be determined. So we'll see.
But those chances will, and those chances to travel, those different festivals, different shows, all across the South, are going to give you chances to take a look at these places, see what they look like, see how you fit in there personally with yourself, see like just what the energy level is, and really get a feel for it. So if you go down to like Daytona for Welcome to Rockville, which I know they just released the lineup at like the day we recorded this, or go somewhere like if there's a couple of shows in Atlanta you want to go hit up, go to Texas, go to Arizona, like all these, even Tennessee or North Carolina, just check it out, see what happens. And I mean, the worst thing you can possibly do is just honestly stay in Wisconsin right now and not explore that opportunity, especially if it's been on your mind. Like, you gotta go and experience it. And music, as we know, is such a big facilitator in that, because oh shit, you want to go see, like, I'm trying to think of a good example off the top of my head. Oh shit, you want to go see Avenged Sevenfold play? They're only playing a couple of states. Yeah, go there.
Right. Yeah. No, that's entirely what's been on my mind. I want to go to Rockville. It's to be determined, but yeah, that I will be in Atlanta in April, and those are the two like kind of for sure things.
But that's honestly a good way to kind of look at it right now, is you only have those two as a for sure thing, because then you can kind of let just the experience lead you to certain places. You're not going to have it so rigorously planned out to the point where, say you go somewhere and it's like, oh, but now next week I have to go over here. But what if you don't want to go there? What if like life is just leading you like, oh, you want, like, you're in Florida, oh, I need to go to Texas this week. But what if you kind of want to go towards like, South Carolina, North Carolina? Just kind of go that way. Just go with the flow. See what happens.
Yeah. And I feel like that's maybe what's holding me back too from like committing to like all of the things. Cause like, I don't want to like have like what I really want be presented and be like, well, I already committed to like 8 other different things. So I say I want to go to Rockville, but it's not like 100%. I will surely be in Atlanta. That's like the only for sure thing. But yeah, I'll figure it out. I'm really excited to just like, I don't know, the journey. I'm excited for the journey.
And that's the best way to look at it too, because you're going to enjoy so many different things that you do as a part of the journey, instead of just, okay, and I need to figure out this one specific thing and that's it. And then you hone in on it. And then it's like the good old Ferris Bueller quote. It's like, life moves pretty fast. If you don't stop and look around, you're going to miss it. And I just butchered Ferris Bueller. There I go. Okay.
It's okay.
It's been
Everyone knows
a
what
day.
you're saying.
It's been a day. That's all I'm going to put it that way. But including like just some of the things that you've done in the past as well to kind of lead you to that decision. I mean, I know, like you said, through the beginning of the year, there were a good number of shows, like you were going to all those shows. I think I ended up running into you at like maybe 3 or 4 of them just randomly over the course of the year. Because I remember from the beginning of the year I think it was the Under Oath, Bad Omens, Straight from the Path show down in Chicago. Like Jarek and Jake told me you were there, but I didn't see there. The Trinity of Terror show in Oshkosh.
Oh yeah.
And then the Miramar down here in Milwaukee for Dayseeker, Thornhill, Caskets, and Holy in Absence.
Oh, I forgot about that. I love the Miramar.
I've got a love-hate relationship with the Miramar. There's always good shows there, but something always bad happens to me there.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
What?
I was there on so I was there on when it was the Plot New Silent Planet and Avoid were playing. Yeah. And I was so stoked to go because like I love seeing Avoid play. The show was on my birthday. I'm like, this is gonna be fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Third song in the pit, get a knee straight to my thigh, and I'm like, oh, that kind of hurt. And that was it for me. I could hardly move my leg. It was just like I was sitting on the side, just like in pain, but also in pure anger because I'm like, I need to be in that pit, but I can't do it.
Yeah. Oh my God. That I would have cried.
Oh, I got even worse. And my buddy who was still going, he broke his foot during Silent Planet. So we both have like a
What?
vendetta against the Miramar now, just personally. Yeah, he broke his foot at the end of Silent Planet set.
You guys got to figure it out. What the hell?
I have no idea what happened. And then what was it, like 4 days later, I ended up going to see Falling in Reverse in
Yeah.
Madison. And
How
my leg
was that?
I could hardly move my leg, and I still went absolutely ape crazy. I was not gonna skip out on that, Lexi.
Fair enough. Fair enough. How was it?
It was a lot of fun. I gotta say, Escape the Fate really, really, really surprised me in how like tight they played, but their set was just fun as all hell.
Really?
And then Falling in Reverse is, well, yeah, you got exactly what you expected. Just one hell of a fun show.
Right. That's awesome. Yeah. That I can't believe your friend broke his foot. I'm not like over that.
Yeah, he straight up broke his foot, and like he was walking out of the venue and he could not put like any weight. He ended up going to the Falling in Reverse show, but he was seething in anger too because he's on crutches sitting on the side just like,
Right.
I gotta be in there, man.
Oh my gosh.
Oh well, but enough about my random injuries because and like other things because I know once like summer hit and then especially later in summer it was I think like when I can remember exactly like things really starting to like click and just start to go in a different like stratosphere direction for you was right around the time of that August Burns Red We Came as Roman show. It was like in late August in Milwaukee.
Yeah. Damn, that feels like forever ago too. Yeah, that was so much fun with Erica. Yeah, everyone was there. That was crazy. I think, yeah, because I went to that show alone. My brother ended up getting sick. And then, yeah, we ended up side stage shooting some content for We Came as Romans, which was so dope. That feels like forever ago. Wow.
Next, I still remember I was in the pit for We Came as Romans, and I look up, and all of a sudden I see We Came as Romans going nuts on stage, and there you are, literally like walking out on stage shooting content. I'm like, what the actual? Why does this just make sense? Why does this make sense right now?
No, it was so crazy. So I was actually there with I had gotten sent by Unified, the record label, to basically I'm trying to remember what. So I was with Hollowfront, basically, content, photography, all the things. So I was hanging out with them, got to meet those guys. They're great. And then the drummer from We Came as Romans recognized me from TikTok. Had to have been the hair, right?
Yeah.
And I've gotten to know those guys pretty well since then. Also great guys. Yeah, and so Erica and I just got to chill side stage. I got invited to go on the stage to shoot some content, which was pretty overwhelming, but also very exciting. Yeah, it was wild.
I think wild might be like an understatement around there, just because thinking about it, just the fact that Unified, a record label, reached out to you to do content for one of the bands, for Hollow Front specifically. And yeah, those guys are great guys. Because I remember because I've had Tyler on the podcast before.
Yeah.
After their set, I end up being able to go out to, like, to the merch table to talk to him for like maybe it was 30 seconds. All of a sudden, like in the rave, lights go dark. All of a sudden, you hear Dark Bloom start, and Tyler just looks at me. He's like, "You need to go to the pit." And I'm like, "I'll see you later."
Yo.
I was gone. But it's just a record label reaches out to you to shoot content for a band.
Yeah.
And then at that show, someone in a different band recognizes you from TikTok. You get to shoot content with them on stage. And then you develop a strong, good relationship with that band.
Yeah.
What?
No, it's amazing. I want to say this the right way. Because I don't, everything that I've gotten to do thus far, like I don't view it as like, I don't know, like I don't view it as like business, even though it may seem like, oh, like this is like a career path that I'm following. I love it. And it is my career, but like am so grateful for like everyone that I've gotten to meet along the way. Like I don't know, like I also have met some not so great people, and that I don't know. Like I am never one of those people that's like, oh, there's like just a connection. Like I've met so many just like amazing people that I consider friends at this point, and I I don't know. I will never not be so grateful for I don't know music bringing me to the friends that I have now.
Well, it's just it kind of can see where it come from, like potentially looking at it as a business because it has become your career path.
Yeah.
But at the same point in time, too, it's don't they always say it's like if you do something you love, you'll never work a day in your life or whatever the saying is.
Yeah.
But you found something that you absolutely love that whenever you get up in the morning, it's like fuck yeah, I'm ready for this shit. Let's go.
Right.
And honestly, there's not many people that actually get to say anything like that or actually get to experience anything like that because maybe responsibilities get in the way. I understand that. But a majority of the time, maybe they just play it way too safe and then they just get stuck in that, that whole entire cycle. For you, you've just completely broke out of that, literally are doing exactly what you want to do in life. And you're taking a look at everything that happens to you as like a gift that life is giving you. You're taking with it as just something that is so positive to the point where people that you meet, you're developing those relationships with them to the point where you might see them randomly on the street or randomly at a show. And it's just like, oh shit, it's Lexy. What up?
Yeah, no, it's so great. I don't know. I think that's something that I will just like, it'll never get old, like continuing to build like the relationships like in this industry because it was always something that like I didn't get growing up. I think a lot of us like that are like within this industry can vouch for that feeling of just like not feeling like we had a place growing up or like a lot of friends. And so like being able to do that and just like see that growth and all of the amazing people that I've connected with, it's just like I don't know, I wouldn't trade it for anything.
It's kind of like it's your family away from it's like your family away from your family. You're the family you get to
Right.
pick.
Yeah, no, entirely. It really is a gift.
And now also, if I remember correctly, literally like maybe a day or two after that We Came as Roman show, didn't you get to do something like on stage or shoot something with Breaking Benjamin at the Marcus or the what are the Marcus American Family after you're on the service car, whatever it was?
Yeah.
What happened with that?
That was another very crazy day. A friend of a friend who I consider my friend now. Shout out Corbin if you hear the podcast. He was running the VIP program for Breaking Benjamin, and they wanted some exposure on socials just to show off kind of the experience. And Erica was another one of the girls that got to do that and kind of showcase what they had to offer. And it was amazing. Everything they put together was so cool. Got to meet the guys also. So nice, so talented, and it was a great time. My friend Amanda came with me, and yeah, we will never forget that day. It was crazy.
But it's just, again, just take a look at just the timeline of that. We talked about just, going to concerts pretty much like the first half of the year. And then within the span of literally, 48 hours, everything that happens with We Came as Romans and Hollow Front, and then doing everything with Breaking Benjamin, doing the VIP experience, being able to document that for social media, get them some more content around there, and being a part of that. And if I do remember correctly, weren't you Sidestage for that pretty much that whole entire show? Because I did see some stuff on like Instagram stories. I was like, what? How?
Yeah, so there was like different options that you can do, and since I was with Corbin and he obviously has access to anything, you could kind of it was different than the VIP, but like still like they really just wanted us to like showcase like the entire experience. So yeah, the people who did VIP, they set up this like side stage, this like enclosure. Basically, it was very strict because there was very like strict rules around the fire that they had on stage. So like basically if you stepped off, like they would shut the whole show down. They're like, don't do that, like you will ruin like the whole show. So anyone like who watches and see that happen, like it's very strict. Like you can't just like chill and do whatever you want. Like they'll like shut shit down. Yeah. So, or maybe they just do that to scare you. Honestly, what do I know? Like they were just like, don't do it. But yeah, so me and Amanda were like, hell yeah, we'll stand on the risers. And it was insane. We were right now, we were on Keith's side. And yeah, I am still honestly clearly speechless over that entire experience. They really put together an amazing event. So
That's how you know it was something legitimate where you're completely speechless, and that was like 4 months ago.
literally, yeah, like I don't know. I like it's so funny. I haven't had to. I wanted to because I'm so just like I cherish all of my experiences so much. Obviously, like I'm always documenting everything, taking pictures, but like I never want to forget like very specific moments. So I have like a note in my app or a note in my notes app of just like all of the things that I've been doing because it hit a point this year where I was like, if I don't start like writing stuff down, like I'm not gonna be able to like keep up with just like all the cool shit that I want to like remember. So I literally have a notes app or I don't know, I keep saying that, a note in my notes app of just like everything, all the things.
I mean, you might need like a couple extra just for 2023 when it comes across, because you might just start filling that thing up. You might get past the character limit on that thing. It's like, okay,
I
start a
hope
new
so.
one, start a new one.
That's the goal.
But also, thankfully, you didn't step off that riser and end up potentially messing up something out with all the fire and have someone come out and like yell like John Taffer, shut it down. No, we didn't want any of that.
That's what I'm saying. It was interesting. There's probably I think there was 7 of us total, and then there was like another one on the other side. But there were 3 very intoxicated men on the riser with us, and I was like, if one of them like if something happens, like I don't know, but whatever. We made it.
We made it through, and thankfully, one of those 3 drunk guys did not do something completely stupid. Otherwise, Ben Burley might have beat the shit out of him.
Maybe he didn't. I didn't see him as a very aggressive guy, but maybe.
But maybe if that show gets stopped, ooh, you never know.
Yeah, right. What do I know?
Yeah, exactly. It could have happened, but then literally right after that, then you did a whole entire thing with Blue Ridge Rock Fest where I think you partner with them and you did like free ticket. So how did that all come into fruition? Because you literally just take a look at this from working with Unify with Hollowfront and then connected with We Came as Romans to literally like 2 days later, the whole Breaking Benjamin thing. And then maybe like 2.5 weeks later, Blue Ridge Rock Fest happens and you're working with them. So what's the story behind working with Blue Ridge for 2022?
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that really just like I I found out I was going to Blue Ridge like maybe a week before the festival. So I originally wasn't gonna go. I wanted to, but obviously like across the US for me, it just I don't know. I don't know that I could have like validated it in that point. Knowing what I know now and the experience that I had, like my experience at Blue Ridge was very wholesome and amazing, and I would love to go back. But I had reached out to their lead of marketing and had just said like basically told him who I am, what I do, what I can offer, and just whole business aspect of things. And that had to have been like a month or 2 prior to this. Like they were just so busy that they like couldn't get back to me. So I had emailed them like another time, and that was still like a couple weeks prior to even hearing back. So I was like, oh, I'm not gonna go. And I had been talking to my friend Heather, who lives in Virginia, obviously where the festival takes place. And we were just like trying to figure something out. Like we were gonna buy tickets. Like I had to like figure out a flight. Like I wasn't gonna make that drive. But it would have been convenient because she lived there, so she could figure out like camping and all that. So yeah, the festival finally got back to me and they're like, we're so sorry. Like we're just like buried in emails, like we'd love to have you, like we figured out like the business side of things. And then yeah, I literally like booked my flight the next day. I told Heather that I had gotten passes, and then yeah, she got the camping stuff, and literally like 4 days later I was flying out to Virginia. So it happened all very quickly.
What the hell? Literally from I'm definitely not going to this. I've emailed a
Yeah.
couple times and they got back to me. It's all of a sudden, oh shit, I got 4 days to figure this all out.
Yeah. Yeah. It was kind of a lot, but it was so just like I need this so bad. Like I wanted this, and like I don't know, I kind of loved like the very spontaneous last minute plan. Like we figured it out. Like we got it all together. The camping was for a couple of girls who have no idea how to camp whatsoever. Honestly, I give us credit because we didn't know what the fuck we were doing. We figured it out. We made it through. We know for next time. But yeah, I would totally camp again.
Oh, usually when it comes to any like festival situation, I'm always a proponent of camping's the way to go, just because you're on the grounds, you're able to constantly go in and out as you please. Because
Right.
I've done the ones where like for Louder Than Life this year, where we just me and my buddy we got a hotel and we just drove in. It's like yeah, once you go in, you're in for the day. If you leave, you can't get back. And we're like, but what if we get good food in the car? What if we got more beer? Like, can we go back out
Yeah.
there and tailgate for a little bit? Nope, none of that. But also when it comes to camping too, it's just now you have a whole group of a bunch of crazy rock and metal fans around there that are essentially going to be your family. Where you got something's going wrong, something's going wrong with some of your equipment. Boom, there's going to be at least 20 people there that are willing to help. You're
Yeah.
just hanging out, listening to music. Oh shit, you're going to end up having like a group of like 20 or 30 people coming around, just chilling, having a good time. Everyone's like talking, listening to good music, eating snacks, just having a blast. Like that's the
Right.
way to go.
Yeah. No, it was awesome. I was nervous just because I'm not much of a camper. Um but yeah, it was amazing. We were totally those girls that sat outside in the like 80-degree weather and did our makeup every day and got ready, but it was great. Everyone around us was like, that is commitment. Like they didn't even judge us. I was like, let's go. This is great. We had some great people next to us, and the festival itself was unbelievable, just unreal.
So when it comes to Blue Ridge specifically, when it comes to like actually being the festival, what part of the 2022 iteration stands out to you the most?
Like the bands I saw, or like
Like
what
it
are
could
you asking?
like it could be like what band did you see that like stood out to you the most? Was there a certain like story or a certain moment that just
Oh,
like stands out to you more than anything else? Because we all have those really wacky, crazy, ridiculous festival stories. Whether
yeah.
it's crazy camping stories, whether it's moshing to like some moshing a We Came as Romans in a pouring rain, whatever it might be. Like we all have those stories. I just want to know what yours are.
Yeah, I that's so hard because I feel like there's also like I'm such a person that like sometimes like I have these cool experiences and I'm like I feel like I just like don't want to tell anybody about this. Like I just want to like keep it to myself like, and yeah, I don't know. It feels so just like I don't know. I always feel like exposed talking about myself. I don't know why that is, but like maybe I got picked on as a kid too much and I just feel like I don't know. But let's see. I um so Heather and I were we had all access passes, so we got to be backstage, so we saw like a lot of the behind the scenes stuff, one of the stories I'll tell. And I my dad would probably hate to hear this, but I was alone for like a short period of time. This is not anything like you probably thought I was just taking this. I was just like by myself. But it was safe. I was fine. I was just like back behind one of the stages, like I think I was watching uh shoot, what is their name? I wanted to say the story so far. It was a pop punk band, but it obviously was not them. Um Story of the Year. That's who it was. I was
Okay.
watching Story of the Year. And yeah, I was just like sitting, I think I was eating pizza or something. I was like drinking water, and this guy comes up behind me and he's like, "Hey, do you like need a drink or something?" And I was like, "No, I'm good. Like, thank you, blah, blah, blah." Um, and I like turned around and I realized it was one of the guys from Hollywood Undead. And I was like, what the fuck? Okay. I was like, that's weird. But I was like, I don't know. Also, like I was just watching Story of the Year. So I was just like vibing, so like it didn't whatever. But Hollywood Undead went up next. I'm a big Hollywood Undead fan. So whatever. I end up running in the pit for them. I met Erica in the pit for Hollywood Undead, which was hilarious. We were vibing the whole time. Um yeah, and whatever. Their sets always great, but after I'd ended up running into him after their set, and he apparently the band was just like they were just like very concerned that I was alone. He's like, why do I keep like seeing you alone? And I was like, you just must catch me at like the wrong times, because like, but like I don't it was so just like hilarious. He's like, I swear I'm not like trying to hit on you. I have a girlfriend that I'm very much in love with. I just like, are you okay? And I was like, yes, I'm okay. Thank you so much. And whatever. Yeah, it was actually hilarious. But yeah.
Hollywood and Dead, as concerned as they come for musicians.
Yeah, no, they were great. They're hilarious, obviously, like as expected.
See, that makes me a little bit jealous though, because I'm hearing you and Erica jumping in the pit for Hollywood and Dead. I'm like, why the fuck was I not there for that?
Yep. Yeah, no, we were it was hilarious too, because like we were not together. But my friend Heather had like just left to go watch Knocked Loose, and I was like, well, I'm gonna catch the rest of Hollywood Undead. So I like ran in the pit and I immediately see Erica and I'm like, let's go. Like, let's go. And so yeah, we jammed together for the rest of Hollywood Undead, and then I ended up catching Knocked Loose. But yeah.
All right, that is pretty funny, but just the fact that, like, again, like those crazy festival stories, those are just like the random things that, of course, as we go through time, as we go through life, other stuff's gonna happen. But whenever we look back at like the festivals we go to, the shows we go to, there's always gonna be those certain moments that we remember, and clearly, Hollywood and Dead's gonna stand out for you when it comes to Blue Ridge. Just the most
Yeah.
concerned people out there.
Yeah, there's so many more just like memories from that week or the week that weekend that I'm just like they will forever hold like some of my favorite moments like ever.
Yes, that you might need to end up like writing them down the notepad again and be like, okay, just want to make sure I don't forget literally
Yeah,
anything
right.
around there. But when it comes to, like, because they're already announcing the lineup for 2023, band by band, piece by piece
Yeah.
for Blue Ridge. And I mean, if they worked with you last year, if you worked with them and it went well, I can't see why for 2023, if you were to reach out to them, that they wouldn't be like, I can't see them not being like, what are we missing out on? We have to work with Lexy. No, like
Yeah,
they'd be
no,
on that shit like
I
crazy.
I have built a pretty good relationship with them and stayed on a business level in touch. So I'm sure it'll play out. I just don't know where my life is going to take me and what that's going to look like this year. So I would love to go to every single festival this year. Uh, but I don't know. I don't know what's next. Not yet.
Life might take you in any random different direction. Life might take you one way, but life might take you the other way. Just let it happen, see what happens. Honestly, that might be what 2023 is all about. Just kind of figuring out where the hell we're gonna go with this. Because hell, we're basically 3 years removed from the world shutting down, and for a lot of us, like starting something like this, where whether it's your presence on social media, me with the podcast, everything, just starting something for ourselves and just seeing where it takes us. I mean, hell, we've gotten this far. Let's just keep riding it and see what happens.
Yeah, it's been truly amazing. And yeah, I cannot wait. I can't wait to see also like what bands blow up this year. Like I'm very like what's next for like metalcore specifically, you know? Like I'm very curious what's next.
All right, well, we got time. I want to jump into that. So, are there any bands on the radar right now for you when it comes to 2023? Is like, holy shit, this band might blow up to be like what Spirit Box did in 2021, what Bad Omens did in 2022?
Yeah. Yeah, so I think for me I I have okay. Are you a Varials fan?
I'm not that big of a Various fan, but I really did like their album from this year.
Yeah, so that is one of my top albums from this year. I That whole album is just like it's work of art. Which people will fight me on the fact of whether it's metalcore, hardcore, whatever you want to call it, a mixture. But I feel like they're one of those bands that would like blow up, or I would love them to blow up. I think they're great. I've gotten to meet those guys as well. Super nice guys. I also really love another band that's probably more like hardcore than metalcore, but like See You Space Cowboy. I
Oh
love
yeah, yeah, yeah.
a lot. Um, yeah, I don't know. I listen to those two probably the most. Varials because of their album this year. Also like Counterparts, another band that's probably not metalcore, but whatever.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, those are probably like my three most listened to like small bands, but they're all like growing pretty quickly, I feel like also. Which is like equal parts awesome and heartbreaking. So like
I
there's
know.
just something about loving like a small like band. Um and then they blow up and then everyone makes them their personality, but like whatever. They deserve all the love too.
Kind of like Bad Omens in a way, where it was like
Yeah,
certain people liked Bad Omens. Death of Peace of Mind came out, and it's just like, no, people made Bad Omens their personality. However,
literally.
respect to Bad Omens though, because one, Bad Omens still makes some good ass music, and
Oh yeah.
two, they deserve it, especially after like seeing their rise and seeing how humble they've stayed. Hearing
Yes.
some of the stories I've heard about them specifically from the guys in Thousand Below is just like, god damn, these guys are legit.
Yeah, no, they're amazing and they do deserve it all. Yeah, it's crazy to see, especially how they've blown up. Just like the whole like just pretend thing on TikTok alone has been absolutely insane. Like they didn't run any campaigns. Like they that was like it was just the world. Like it's crazy.
I mean, it just a band that has that much positivity going behind it, just enough of a social like campaign just kind of started organically for them from a bunch of fans on social media, and it just turned into what it
Yeah.
became. And then like for the Concrete Jungle tour, like that's what they ended with before the encore, which really surprised me. But then I thought, wait a minute, this is like their biggest song right now in terms of like overall popularity in pop culture. Why
Yep.
wouldn't they end at least part of the set like that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't know. I'm curious to see where they go from here. Like they have so much momentum right now. I'm just like very curious to see like what like where they go.
Honestly, from what I've heard and what I understand, I think it's just going to keep going, especially because they have the full backing of Sumerian Records behind them. Like
Oh,
they
yeah.
like if they want some Sumerians, just like here.
Entirely. Yeah. Yeah.
But not only that, but like for yourself as well going into 2023. Because the last time I had you on here, I did want to check this right before I went on here. I remember the first time I had you on here around like on your TikTok page, I think it was around like 35,000 followers. You're close to doubling that as the time of
Was it
recording this. So
really?
yeah, I remember
Yeah.
I looked at my sheet from last time. I'm like, okay, let's take a look at what it is now. And I mean, you're close to doubling that. So your brand is still growing at a very healthy rate. So when it comes to 2023, is there anything that you're thinking about doing to maybe add to that? Just because I know everything around fashion, everything around music, metal, all that stuff is all there. Is there anything you're potentially gonna like expand on, add on? What are you thinking?
Yeah, I mean, there's so much on the horizon that I think I have always dreamed of doing that I don't even know if I'm like ready to speak about yet. Um, but yeah, I feel like there's just I've felt this way for like a couple months now of just like I feel like we all have just like as a collective like come off this like very like this heaviness in the world. Like not that that has been entirely lifted, but like 2023 just seems like this is like I don't know, like a rebirth year. Not to sound all like I don't know, but just like I don't know. It just feels I feel this like new sense of just I don't know, a different kind of growth, I guess. Like just like full send. I also am like a different person now. I feel personally. I went through a lot of just like trials this year like in my personal life that have I think have just like brought me full circle to just like a different place. I I suck at words. I'm trying to like come up with the right words. I'm on a different path, I think mentally. I'm in a different place mentally. Um, and I think that is just showing in like the relationships I keep, the work I'm doing, and saying no to shit I don't want to do. So I don't think that answered your question at all. Um, but what I'm trying to say is I'm really looking forward to 2023 and what that looks like. I just have no fucking clue. I have no clue, but I know it's going to be amazing. And I'm trying to not put too much pressure on it because that never works out very well.
No, whenever we put too much pressure on shit, it always ends up blowing up our face. I am like the major proponent of that because that happens to me like every month, pretty much. Like something seems like it's going well, all of a sudden, that's it. Right. It didn't work out. But I think I kind of understand where you're coming from there, where it's you have so many different avenues that you can go down in terms of what you're going to be able to do with your brand, what you're able to do with all the relationships that you've been able to make and cultivate over the past year, that when it comes to like what you could do and what you might be doing that new in 2023, who the hell knows? But the important thing is everything you went through in 2022, the different trials, tribulations, every little experience that you had, they might have been a revelation to yourself for mental clarity, for your mental health, and to make sure that you are on like the most mentally confident you that you could possibly be going into the new year. Right. So that like rebirth kind of feel, it's still you, but it's just like more of who you actually are.
Right. Like me at my core, like just like not, I don't know that I would ever have considered myself like scared to like be who I am as much as like maybe in the past I was like hesitant of just like rejection. I don't know. It's been a while since I've felt that way, but like that's like as gone as it could possibly be at this point. Like I'm just Lex. I love music and I'm fucking weird, honestly, but I'm a good time. And yeah, I'm just being true to myself, and that's the whole vibe for 2023.
And you know, we just got to all roll into that with like that vibe for 2023 because I've talked with you now, and that's the way that you're going into 2023. I've spoken with Erica on the podcast. I've spoken with her a number of times, and she's doing the exact same thing. And to say I'm not following suit on that would be a straight up lie because I like with the podcast, it's me being myself and me just as mentally confident in myself. It's led to some wacky, insane things like partnering with the motherfucking rave. Like, hell yeah. What the hell else could happen next?
Exactly. No, it's massive, and it just like speaks to the growth and like the grind.
Yeah. And the fact of the matter is because it's with the music that we love, and because we form these relationships with people that we truly care about, that we truly have a great time with, just creating these great friendships. We get to do this, and this is what we enjoy. Myself, I still have to work a freaking full-time job, but I still would rather be doing this. I still would rather be focusing on this. Hell, even at work, it's just like, you know what? Fuck this shit.
Yeah.
We're working on this now.
Yes.
Don't tell my boss that, though, Lexy. That'd be a bad idea.
True.
Oh, God. Well, Lexy, as we bring this podcast to its conclusion, one thing I'd like to do is give you a chance to say whatever you want to say, plug whatever you're going to plug, promote whatever you promote at the end of the podcast. So, Lexy, the floor is yours.
Oh, my gosh. I didn't prepare myself for this. I think I panicked when you said this to me last time.
I'm going to say it to you every time I have you in the podcast, and I hope it's the same reaction.
I'm very easily like caught off guard. What do I want to say? Shit, I don't know. I feel like my go-to thing is always some like very cheesy motivational like but honestly like that's who I am because like sometimes life sucks and you just have to hold on to the cheesy motivational quotes that get you through. Like be your fucking self and don't be afraid to do that. And honestly, if it doesn't make sense to anybody else, who the fuck cares? Because if it makes you happy, then do that. You should do that.
I think just like the hold on to the cheesy motivational quotes line. I think that one's the one that's just the best one out there.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, that's just who I am at my core. Is very cheesy and just silly. But also, what else do I want to say? I feel like I need to make like a prediction, like a musical prediction. I feel very called to do that right now. I don't know though. I am going to make a prediction. Actually, I'm going to manifest this. It's not even a prediction. I'm going to manifest this that by the end of 2023 will have gotten to go on tour with a band.
Oh shit.
Yeah. I don't even know if that's possible, but I'm gonna manifest that and I'm gonna put that here on the podcast right now.
I think that definitely is possible because we both know people that have done that before. And think about this. If you're looking to like find a different place to live, move, and just kind of see the different parts of the United States,
it's crossed my mind. That's definitely been something that's been on my radar. But obviously that's not something you can force, and like the whole like content creation aspect, like outside of like obviously like concert photography is very, very new. But I could see myself doing it. And yeah, I'm gonna throw that on the podcast. I don't know that I've even told more than like 2 people in my life that I want to do that, but we're gonna drop that here.
We're gonna drop that here. All I can say is go for it. And at the end of 2023, I'm gonna remember this. Because at the end of 2023, if it's on the podcast or not, I'm still gonna remember this. I'm gonna bring it up to you. Hopefully it's on the podcast again, or I'll do it in person and be like, hey, Lexy, remember when you told me this? Yeah. Or even when it happens, I'm just gonna say, look.
You manifested it.
You manifested. Oh.
Yeah, right. I feel like I've just been so spiritual this whole podcast. Like I'm all like, it's okay. I'm about it.
It's okay. We're just making this shit happen.
Yeah. Yep. That's what life's about, making shit happen.
Oh, now that's the perfect way to close it. That's what life's about, making shit happen. So it's time for me to make shit happen with 3 different things. So first things first, when it comes to finding Lexy online, when it comes to finding her on TikTok, all those places, you want to know what you're going to do? Description of the podcast, say find Lexy Messina online. Boom, it is all going to be down there for you. So click and follow her on all that shit because, yeah, why the hell not? I mean, I'm doing it. We had Erica on the podcast. Erica's following her. Everyone's got to follow her. So go and do it. No. Yeah, no. And now it's time for number 2. Now, I didn't get to make good on I've not made good on my promise from the last time of, usually my promise is whenever I get to see a band live for the first time, first round's on me. But I always made a promise to you. Remember the last time it was first concert on me because I knew we were going to run to each other, but I have not been able to make that happen yet. So what the fuck am I doing? Like, what the hell?
It's all good.
I'll still make it happen though. It's just, we'll figure, we have to figure out when, but now I've got connections. Oh yeah.
Oh my God.
I can't help it. I had to be weird about it, you know.
That's funny.
Had to do it. But Lexy, as we bring this podcast to conclusion, I cannot end this by saying goodbye because I know I'm going to see you at some point, probably the next couple of months. And once 2023 comes to its conclusion, even though we're just at the beginning of it now, or beginning close to it, end of it, whatever, under 22, whatever it is, when the end of 2023 comes, we're going to have you back on and we're going to see how much further you have gone in life. On top of that, we're going to make sure, or not just see if that manifestation happened, we're going to see when in 2023 it happened, what band it was, what tour it was, and how crazy it was.
This is so nerve-wracking, but I'm here for it.
So nerve-wracking, but it's all nerve-wracking in positivity. We're doing this.
Yeah.
Well, Lexy, I can't say goodbye in this. I know I'm going to see you sometime soon, so we're going to end it like this. I'll see you later.
I'll see you later.
Well, folks, that's my interview with Lexy Messina. Once again, you can find her on TikTok and Instagram. You can follow along with all of her stuff when it comes to her TikTok or Instagram with all the things she does around fashion, rock, metal music, metalcore, and all the crazy things that she's going to have going on, especially in 2023. You're not going to want to miss out. Go to the description of the podcast, say find Lexy Messina online. Links and labels are down there for you. Also, make sure to follow along with the Chord Progression Podcast. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok for your viewing pleasure. Please subscribe to the podcast on YouTube to watch all these interviews, or you can listen at Spotify Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Amazon, and wherever else you might be finding this podcast. Thank you, Noah Britton, for Britton Media, for helping us out on that one. On top of that, if you're already subscribed to the podcast, thank you very much. You're starting off 2023 right. If you're just subscribing now, thank you very much. You're starting off 2023 right. If you're like, I don't want to subscribe, please reconsider. If not, thank you for stopping by anyway. I really appreciate it. And yes, I really do appreciate it. You're welcome back anytime. Also want to thank Phoenix Fitness for sponsoring this podcast. Remember, 20% off using the code CPP20 at FXX.com. Description of the podcast. Thank you once again, Lexy. And we'll see what happens in 2023. Will Varials be one of the bands that breaks out? Will it be CU Space Cowboy? Me personally, I think it's going to be our friends in Caskets. Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's going to be those guys. Also, go on tour with the band in 2023. Lexy, it's going to happen. I don't know with what band, but with what you do with Blue Ridge, with what you've done with your whole entire page, with your whole entire channel, with your whole entire brand, and the connection made in 2022, I mean, the mindset you have going into 2023 is phenomenal. So just keep it up. Keep being yourself. Cheesy motivational quote. I had to end it like that. So with that being said, that's going to be for me, guys. Thank you for watching to the Chord Progression Podcast. My name is Kevin, and you guys know how I end every single one of these episodes with a big, healthy, and hearty. See ya!